Okay. All right. Welcome you guys to the Sunday night Ella's Empire team Zoom. Thank you so much for taking the time out tonight to jump on. We have a guest speaker that I'm really excited to announce here in just a second. And just a lot of stuff, a lot of exciting things happening in this business and in this team and the community of people, right? I love our team calls. So if you're catching the recording, I wish you could have been here in person so you could have caught it all live. But I am excited to announce Stephanie Lane. She's our guest speaker tonight. She's going to talk to us about how she's leveraging the UK launch. And I think she's probably going to talk a little bit more about Instagram just because I know that that's where she's focusing right now, maybe just a little bit of everything. So I'm excited to hear from her. She is a 4-star lifetime diamond coach. She is the creator and the owner of the Fit Legacy. She has some pretty killer, awesome people on her team that are rock stars, but just awesome people in general, okay? She's my success partner. She's hit Success Club for tons and tons of months, like I think over 4 years. So she knows what she's doing. So that would make her a legend. And I'm super proud that she's here. So I'm excited to tune in and hear what you have to say. So take it away, Stephanie.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Okay, so first, let me apologize. I'm having a ridiculous allergy attack. So if I just start sneezing uncontrollably, this happens every fall. It's just my life. It is what it is. So I feel like I sound like I'm talking through a straw, but we're just going to go with it. So thanks for having me on, guys. We have a really exciting launch here in a month. So I'm going to talk about what I'm doing and kind of what I'm hearing other coaches are doing, but feel free to research and just investigate and go watch YouTube videos and go see what other people are doing. Just really be your own educator in this and have fun with it and kind of find your niche. So with us launching into a new country, it's always good to first focus on building relationships, because that's what we do. We build relationships. We become business partners. Some of you guys on here, I'm super close with, and it has nothing to do with fitness. It has nothing to do with business. It's about knowing people, becoming friends with people, working together. So first focus on building relationships. And if you do not know a single person that lives in the UK, guess what? It's a really great time to start meeting some people. And we live in a time where you have access to the internet. You have access to millions and millions and millions of people. So if you're on Facebook primarily, what you can do to build relationships with people in the UK is to go into events that are hosted in the UK. You can find that by just searching in Facebook's search bar, events in pick a city. It's that easy. You go through that event and you can, look at people's profiles and you can get to know them through what they have available and decide if this is somebody that you want to build a relationship with. You can also search locations specifically and see what comes up on Facebook. Or friends of friends who live in the United Kingdom. You can also run Facebook ads that are targeted to that location. So if you have a like page, you can do this. If you don't have a like page, you can't. But basically you go into the ads manager and you either promote a post that you already have, or you create a post and it kind of runs, it's called a dark post, which means it's not on your page. Nobody can see it except the people that you target through that ad. And if you don't know how to run ads, maybe watch a simple tutorial. I don't really know a whole lot about ads. I don't spend a lot of time on that because it's like a different language to me. So I just try to keep it simple, and that seems to work for me. I'm not too worried about it. Let's see what else. You can join groups. Sometimes they won't let you in if you don't live there, but I've joined a couple that are, it's kind of like Weight Watchers, but it's the UK's version. It's called Slimming World. I joined a couple of those and I'm building some relationships that way. You, I don't know, just kind of play around, just have fun with it, and you're here to build relationships. You're not hunting people. Kind of find a place where you belong. Like I'm in a couple moms groups, and there's some moms from the UK there too. If you're on Instagram, you can specifically search any location, and then anybody who has geotagged their photo in that location, you can connect with them that way. That way, those people are always public. Like, I prefer to use locations and hashtags because if they show up there, their profile is public, and you don't have to worry about like, oh, this is a private person, and that those people. And as for hashtags, I always say investigate the hashtag first. Investigate the hashtag before you use it. Investigate the hashtag before you start, building relationships with it, because some are just oversaturated with things that you don't want any part of. Like I made a bright green Shakeology, and I tagged it Green Goddess, and then I went and before investigating the hashtag, and then I went and clicked on it, and it was like all marijuana pictures, and I'm like, well, that's not exactly my niche market. So I don't think I'll be using that hashtag again. But that some people are into that, so that would be their hashtag use, right? But so you definitely want to investigate the hashtags you're using before you use them consistently. So there's a lot with like UK at the end or the beginning or whatever. And make sure they're not saturated with coaches too. Okay, so then once you have added these people or you're following them on Instagram, that's where you start forming them. If you don't know what that means, it's family, occupation, recreation, and then messages last. So, you can message them and say, oh, that's a really cool meal you posted. Do you have a recipe for that? Or I really like the lipstick you were wearing. Do you know what it was? You're just building a relationship. You can do this in messages or comments. But likes really don't go a long way. I mean, if you're just simply liking people's pictures, it might just fall through the cracks with the other people that like their picture. So if you really want to stand out, you've got to be commenting or messaging, right? Now with Instagram and with Facebook too, you can look at their story, and then when you comment on someone's story, it goes to their inbox. So those can really stand out too, because you're directly commenting on their day. Like it's not always aesthetically pleasing picture like that's on Instagram. It's not all perfectly polished. It's it's their day. And I think when you comment on those, it comes off a little more one-to-one, a little more genuine, I think. And I think that's why stories are so popular, because you're getting that kind of inside view on someone's day. So it comes off, and you can learn about somebody so much faster through their stories or through your stories. So don't be afraid to use your own stories as well. And then, so you're getting to know them. And then what do you invite them to? So you're going to need to make a choice here. Are you inviting them to a coach sneak peek? Are you inviting them to a free group? Are you inviting them to a Beachbody on-demand trial? They can try that. Did you know that for 2 weeks? They can do a Beachbody on-demand free trial. You're not their coach, but once that free trial is over, then they could switch to you once the launch happens, right? So I have a girl that, she's from the States and she lives there. She got married, and she buys that like T25, 21 Day Fix. She's been in my challenge groups for a really long time, but I've never been able to be her coach. And so she's really excited about this. And I've still worked with her even though I'm not getting anything out of it, because again, this is about relationships. So it doesn't matter if they can't have you assigned as their coach right now. They will later if you first give. Always give. Just, it doesn't matter. Just give all your stuff away for free, because they're going to remember that. And then you can invite them to a What is Coaching. So our team is running a coach sneak peek next week, and then we're skipping a week, and then we're doing another coach sneak peek, and then I think we're skipping another week and doing another one. So we're going to be doing like a sneak peek every other week in the same group. And just sharing like what coaching's about and why this is a really exciting opportunity. This is a really great time for them because it's brand new. And something that's brand new is really exciting. The only obstacle that I'm really running into with my conversations is obscurity. They don't really understand what it is because there's nothing like this. So the more times you can expose them to what we're doing, the better I think you'll have of conversion, just because they just don't get it at this point. And I didn't understand it either. I didn't understand that there was a coaching thing, that there was a business. I just knew I really liked TurboFire, and I did the workout, and I lost 30 pounds, and that was cool to me. Didn't know there was a thing behind it. So a lot of people that live there, they know what the 21-day fix is. They know what insanity is, just like us. But they don't know there's a business, and they don't really understand it. So don't be afraid to invite them multiple times or keep them in a group that you're like repeating the sneak peek information, if that makes sense. So Jalene, I know you said like 15 minutes, so I'm right on target.
That's awesome. What I got. Awesome. Thank you so much. So do you find, and you guys, if anybody has any other questions too, I want to open it up while Stephanie's still on here to ask questions. But so are you finding that you are finding more people from Instagram just because it's easier than Facebook?
Yeah.
Just by hashtags.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions? I think you made a good point about just like repeated exposures. This just goes back to, we have to always like keep in mind how we started and how we just think everyone should know what coaching is and just be so excited about it too. But in reality, like it took me a couple times to be exposed. And I know that there's a lot of people on our team that took, a year to even sign up to get a challenge pack. And so just remember how you started and how many times like your coach had to message you before you finally were like, okay, dang it, like I'm doing this, whether you were a customer or coaching too. So repeated exposure, it's like 7 to 12 exposures before somebody is actually going to. So I think on our last team call, I said, if you haven't asked this person 7 times at least, like when you're done with the call, go ask them again. So keep asking them and make little hash marks of how many times you've invited them to whatever it is. Before then you're like, okay, they just don't want to do it. 9 times out of 10, at some point they're going to be ready. So does anybody else have any questions about kind of leveraging Facebook and Instagram or anything that you're doing right now that seems to be working too, that you want to add on there? Kathy, your husband's hilarious. Hey. Kaylee, you got something?
Yeah, I wrote down just a couple of the things. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Making sure. Okay. I wrote down a couple of the things that I've been doing that were a little different or that weren't on Stephanie's list. So the first is that I just started this week using Instagram stories a lot more and tagging my location as somewhere in the UK, because then it will show up in their news feeds because you can tag any location you want. You don't have to tag where you are. So that's one of the things that I've been doing. And then, yeah, you can, like today I tagged a random small town in the UK because not a lot of people are going to be tagging that specific location. They're all going to be tagging London or they're all going to be tagging UK. I've done the same thing with hashtags on my Instagram stories. So I'll hashtag, I tried out like the BBG UK today. I'm going to do some different things that are less fitness specific. That's my biggest tip, is you want to search non-fitness hashtags like Stephanie said. So a big one for me was like Northern Ireland weather. I try to find something that the locals are going to be posting about that all other coaches are not. So like, London weather or things like that. So things about the weather, things about, specific smaller things that not everyone's going to be doing. I just gave my biggest tip. Because that was just like something random, that I thought about one day. I'm like, well, they're going to post about the weather just like we do. And then the last thing was when I go through and I search those hashtags, that's how I found like the Scotland weather or whatnot. That hashtag is how I found a lot of people that live there. And then I go through and I really take a deep look into their profile. And if it's someone that I literally made a list, and you guys so you want to build your team with people like you, right? You don't want to build it with people that are nothing like you. And so in order to put these people on this list and in order to add them as a friend and comment and they had to fit my tribe vibe column on the list. they had to jive with me on one thing, whether they were a dog mom, whether they were a coffee addict, whether they have early morning rage. I don't care what it is. So if they don't fit your tribe vibe, don't add them. But then once I did that, I started commenting and liking. And then after a couple of weeks of that, what I started to do was actually send them a personal message. It said, hey lady, I just wanted to let you know, I love that your page is full of positivity and light. Not a lot of people post such positive things. I see that you're on a fitness journey. That's so great. How long have you been, on your journey? Just something simple. Compliment them on what you like about their profile and then follow that up. It doesn't have to be fitness related. I've sent a lot of them that say, what kind of dog is that? I love your dog or something. So just don't go the route that all of 80% of the other coaches that I've seen on Instagram are going, because it's not going to get you anywhere.
That's awesome. I think that's great, because I didn't even think about that, like using the hashtags and the filters. So when you're on your story, so you're just tagging a random place just on your story, or you're talking about that, and then you're like, oh, one day I wish I could go to Ireland, and then you're tagging yourself in Ireland or something, or you're just totally randomly.
I am randomly tagging it, and they're not. So what you can do is when you go and you hit that location tag, if you double tap on it, it says search location, right? So then I put in England, and then I find a random city and I click it so that instead of it being bright colors, it's the faded gray, and I shrink that baby down as small as it can go, and I hide it somewhere in the image. So that they're not seeing that I'm randomly tagging a location. Okay, they're just seeing it pop up.
Who's this girl from? That's awesome though. That is great.
But it's like incognito, right? Like you're putting content, like value out there. So when I posted about my free crackpot group today, I hashtagged like BBG UK, shrunk that baby so no one could see it. And then I location tagged a city in England and shrunk it so you couldn't see it. But it's still getting this awesome message of, hey, free value out there. But yet no one knows why it's coming up because you can't see it.
I love that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That was definitely some good add-ons to Stephanie's too. Thank you, Kaylee, for sharing that. And I love.
Hey, I have a question. So your Instagram stories are showing up in their feeds now?
They should be, because you are either hashtagging or location tagging them. So they won't show up in their individual feeds. What it'll happen is if they go to, so like, let's say Instagram has their own stories, okay? And certain locations have their own stories. And so if, let's say, London, England has an Instagram story, so anyone that hashtags London, England or location tags it, if some random person in the UK is watching that, my story, that specific still from my story will show up there because I location or hashtagged it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it will.
I've had random people that have watched it. So.
Also,
okay.
What'd you say, Michelle? You cut out.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that. So learn something new.
I love how you're in the closet incognito, Michelle.
Hey, I'm putting away clothes right now.
I love it.
No, I learned something new. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Stephanie, we're going to add something?
Yeah. In your search feed in Instagram, it actually pulls pictures from hashtags and locations that you. So when you go through that, like the little magnifying glass feed, those are profiles, photos, and stories based on locations and hashtags that you use.
So like, for example, I know, oh, Michelle, you're back. Okay. So if like, for example, like, I don't know if you can see this at the top, like I'm in East Peoria and I tag East Peoria. So there's like literally a live feed of everybody who is tagged East Peoria for the entire day. So it will take me to this Harvest Bible Chapel, this other girl who lives in East Peoria. So all people who tagged East Peoria will go into that. And so like Stephanie said, you go into the search and then you'll just see all these things that, there's top live, just random people who were there. So I think that, just try it. Because then when
I will. Oh my gosh. I had no idea.
Because then
that's crazy.
Even on your feed, when you go to see who looked at your feed, it will show the hashtag and it will show all the people who were looking at that hashtag. Does that make sense? Hashtag a random word. And then go, and then it'll be in the top of your, like, who viewed your story.
Okay,
that
cool.
part I can't find. That's the one part I was looking for earlier, Jelaine, that I can't. So if I go in, it's on my story though. It's not like it'll show by hashtag.
Yeah. So like if you go to your story right now and say you hashtagged on your photo and then you click the eye, like to see who saw it, it would be the first thing that would come up. Like I haven't done any today, but then those are going to be like another untapped market, I guess, if you will. So it's only if you're using a hashtag. I'm pretty sure I've only seen it a few times, so I'm not 100% sure, but that's where I've seen it. And I'm like, oh, what's this? And I tap on it and then it brings me all the other people that hashtag that same thing. And then I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. And because I was like, what is this? Who is this person? I don't know this person. And then I realized that it's just a general like common factor. I think something that Instagram does, nothing that I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you guys have not, like on the Instagram front, if you have not listened to, and this is how I came up with this, let's tag a random UK location. If you have not listened to the National Wake Up Call with Jatana Jackson, you've got to listen to it because that got my butt in gear yesterday. I listened to it yesterday afternoon and it has a million amazing tips for Instagram stories and how to leverage that with the UK market. And then just make them your own.
I love me some Jatana. I'm not even kidding.
That call was awesome.
Yeah. So that's all great, you guys. It's all super helpful and awesome. So thank you so much for opening up and sharing and asking questions, and Stephanie for, of course, being the guest speaker. So the second part.
Thank you.
The second part of this kind of leads into what Stephanie even talked about, which is adding value. So we're going to talk about just free groups and kind of how they go hand in hand with the launch. And then, of course, a couple things on Clean Week. All right. So, and if you guys have something that's totally working for you too, of course, always chime in for sure and share that. But so just some tips that I wanted to talk about is free groups and why. So I think that I know some people have had trouble with free groups and they don't really understand it or they don't get it or they think it's stupid. It is a lot of work, right? Free groups are a lot of work, and I'm not gonna discount that. They're a lot of work, and for little return right away. Okay, so there's no like instant gratification of a free group. It's usually down the way, but they are so very, very important for many reasons. So I'm just 7 quick ones here. Basically, free groups and why you should be doing them. If you're not, it should be like the number one thing you're going to do, and maybe it's going to be Clean Week because a lot of it will be done for you, ideally. So why you do them is because, one, it provides value first. So you're giving something for free. Like Stephanie said, just give, and give some more. Like that's what people want. Obviously to, a certain point, I guess if you know somebody's taking advantage of you and being a freeloader, then you should at some point say, hey, why don't you sign up for a free account with me, just so that you give them some accountability and put some skin in the game for them. Because we all know we have those people who jump from coach to coach to coach and person to person, and they just want free. And that's not really how it should be. What we do, you guys, is valuable and it's important and it is a job. And so for some of us, it's our full-time job. Well, working part-time, but you know what I mean? And so it should be treated as such, right? So that's just a side note. So provide value first, okay? It's what it's going to do in your free group, whether it's a clean eating group or it doesn't always have to be a clean eating. And this is the thing. I think people try to conform to this free clean eating group when they hate clean eating. They hate food prepping. They hate these things. So you guys, I'm going to tell you, guess what? It's going to be the best news all day. You don't have to do that then. Don't do a clean eating group, okay? Do a group that gets you excited, that you're passionate about. Maybe it's how to walk multiple dogs at the same time and be successful and not look crazy, okay? And maybe, it's whatever your niche is, whatever you feel that you're passionate about and you're going to be excited to go into every day and not loathe, right? So 1, provides value. 2, it helps people get to know, like, and trust you. Because guess what? People don't join people that they don't know, like, and trust. Write that down. Know, like, and trust. That's what you want to get people to do with you, those 3 things. To know you, to like you, and to trust you. And you do that by building a relationship. You do that by providing value in a free group. They get to see you. Another reason why you should be going live, you should be on your Facebook stories or your Instagram stories, is just like Stephanie said, so people can get to know you right away. They're going to see some crazy clear-cut picture, but if they go to your Instagram story, you got top knots that looks like it's 3 days old because your hair is crazy. I mean, that's the real you. They're like, okay, this girl is not as perfect as I thought she was. I'm more relatable to her. I kind of like her a little bit more now, and I want to get to know her, and then she's going to trust you. So keep that in mind. Get people to know, like, and trust you. And that's what they're going to do in a free group, because they're going to see you in their live. They're going to see you in there providing value and giving things away for free. Okay. It sets us apart from other MLMs. Okay. Maybe some of you didn't realize this, but how many times you've been added to some unique group or some random group, and like some girl keeps adding me and I'm like, I don't want to be in your group, so I keep leaving your group. But we don't just do that. And if we are adding you to a group, it's usually because you said that you want to, and we're offering you something, not just to try to sell you something right away without even knowing anything about you. Maybe you're allergic to lipstick and you're never going to wear any, but they wouldn't know that because they don't know you, because they didn't take the time to get to know you. So it sets us apart from all the other MLMs, you guys, because nobody else is running groups and providing value. So that's a big one. When I heard that, I was like, gosh, that is so true. We don't utilize that enough. 4 is it helps grow your cold market like that. Okay. So who doesn't want like 50 new people to start building relationships with? That's what happens when you run a free group of whatever kind. You say, tag a friend, somebody who wants to do this with you. Hello, it's free. So they're going to tag 2 or 3 friends. You could even do like a giveaway, but people are going to start tagging, and then guess what? You go and friend them. And then now they're part of your network, right? And usually, I mean, you guys, we know 1,000 people on a first name basis, and guess what? They do too. And then their network of people, and then they tag their friends, and it just keeps going and going and going. So when you hear that the market is saturated, it is not, because I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know any of these people. I've never met any of these people. So keep that in mind, because it's the quickest way to grow your cold market. So if you're out of people right now, you're like, who else do I talk to for the month of September? Start to host a free group or put something out there and say, tag your friend. And then there you go. Boom. You're being able to create more people into your circle. Number 5, it's the quickest way to warm up your warm market, because there's people who are like been sitting on the edge, right? And then here they are. It's like, okay, here's the swift kick in the butt they need. They get back into the free group, and then you just, kind of rekindle that conversation maybe that you had right back to where it was for potentially moving forward, whether it's a coaching opportunity or a challenge group from the free group. Number 6, you build lifers. There's just people in your groups who are always there. They're probably not going to become a coach, but they're in every free group, and they're there to help and support, and they comment on everybody's stuff, and they like it, and they just, those are your lifers, you guys. If somebody tries to say something bad about you on your page, they're like in there before you even have a chance to say anything, and you're like, oh gosh, that's a total lifer, because they're sticking up for you when you don't even have to do it for yourself. So that's also what free groups are going to do for you. And then number 7, it shows you what accountability looks like. Okay. They're getting a glimpse into what it is we really do. And guess what? Why we are successful and we get results. Because I don't know about you guys, but without an accountability group, I would not be where I am today. Anybody else? I mean, that's the game changer. I'd be eating, I don't like Twinkies, but I'd be eating bonbons and caramel popcorn in the corner in my closet, hiding, because nobody else was going to keep me accountable. So it keeps us accountable, and it shows them what it looks like as well, right? To be a part of something that's so encouraging and just so amazing, because the community of people is, we all know there's nothing like it. There's nothing like those challenge groups and the people, right? So those are my 7 reasons for free groups and why. And if you haven't done one yet, then I challenge you to do that. So Clean Week is coming up. Write this number down. It is FAQ 3466. If you guys haven't had a chance to look at it, I would. If you have never ran a free group, pair up with somebody. Pair up with other people. I mean, even though we're not on the direct same team, you guys, we can still pair up with each other and share the workload of the free groups. And plus, sometimes it's kind of nice to have a different take from a different team or somebody outside of our like direct thing. But definitely pair up with someone else and make sure that you're going to be having an event running for that. So be sure to check that out. There's so much info. It's pretty easy to read. And capitalize on that, because it could be the first free group that you run, and it's going to be awesome. I mean, Megan Davies has the workouts all planned. The one thing that I don't understand, and maybe you guys have some clarification on this, is Clean Week starts October 3rd, but the 7-day Shakeology pack is not on sale until October 3rd. So realistically, you wouldn't run your free group until the following Monday, which would be the 10th or even the 17th. Unless there's something different that I'm just not catching, because to me that doesn't make sense. I wish that it was going on sale the week before, so then you could do the clean eating group the first week, but I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding that. So if somebody knows, let me know. Otherwise, I would guess, because if obviously you want the 7-day thing, and I think that's pretty cool that Beachbody's, it's $30. $30 for you to get the clean eating plan. And also what I understand to be true is that you only get the eating plan if you do the 7 days of Shakeology. If you don't, you get like the quick start guide. So I'm still not quite sure how that's going to work. Like I said, because I understood that you were getting your meal plan and the workouts and whatever else with the clean week. But then when you read the FAQ, it doesn't read like that. So let me know if you guys found something else to be true. But regardless, it's just another way for them to be able to do it. And they don't have to have a BOD membership. They can just access the clean week for free. So you don't have to put in a credit card. You don't have to do anything if you're doing just the clean week. But I mean, even making posts about doing Shakeology for 7 days. Who doesn't want to try it for a full week for $30 before you make the complete investment, right? So there's very different ways to approach this and like ramp it up, talk about it, where it's September 17th. So you still have plenty of time. I would say 3 weeks at least to be totally nailing down some ideas, get an event going, be inviting to that, be asking people to tag your friends, be hyping it up, sharing maybe some of the videos, making your own video about Clean Week, that kind of thing. So be sure that you're making it fun too. That's what people want to see, like, oh, this is going to be fun. Okay. So keep that in mind. So your action items, for everyone who's on the call, I always end the call. Stephanie, I don't know if you guys do this, but on our team, we always end the call with, in our team page, you write out your 10 goals for the month or until the end of the year, whichever you prefer. And then whoever gets it done first, they screenshot it and then share it into the team page, and then everybody follows suit below. So that way we're helping keeping each other accountable. You're just writing out your goals again, pen to paper, and putting them out there. So that's one thing that we do, of course, for our team. We know that. If not, maybe it's a good practice for those of you who aren't on our direct team to just do it anyways and be like, oh, I'm halfway through the month. Let's reevaluate where you're at. And then share them with Stephanie and your team page, or Andrea and her team page. And then, of course, pick a date to do your clean eating group or your clean week or whatever it's going to be for October, and start to build your information for that. And then really start to dive into hashtags and just launching for the UK. I mean, you guys, this is a huge opportunity that we have. There's so many good tools and things that Beachbody has put into place for us to make it easier, right? And to help us grow this business and grow our network and earn more and do things that we never thought possible, right? Help more people than we ever thought possible. So those 3 things, okay? Does anybody else want to add anything before we wrap up? I do want to give a shout out to my people on Success Club. Last month, Michelle hit Success Club 6. On the board was Dante, Megan, and Teresa. So you guys are awesome. And then I think that, I don't know, Hillary or Regina, I think that did they hit Success Club again too, Dante? And Kathy, I think, did you hit Success Club too? Yeah, so shout out to you guys. I mean, everybody's just doing awesome. August is a hard month with back to school and excuses from a lot of people. So props to everybody for getting that in. Oh, and just a couple of announcements. The Platinum Edge has been canceled. Oh gosh, I just sound like I just went like British or something. But it has been canceled in November. It was supposed to be like the 9th through the 11th. And it's not going to be this year, but it is next year the same, like around the same dates. So something about the venue and things like that. So Christine had to cancel it. But just so that you know, because I know a lot of people, we were talking about that within our team. So I just wanted to let you know. And then, of course, you guys, who's getting to Super Saturday this coming weekend? Heck yeah. And if you're in Peoria or the surrounding area, we are hosting. And Dante, are you getting to Maryland somewhere?
No, I can't make it this time.
Next time. Hillary, where are you? New York?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Carolina. Did you find your Super Saturday there?
Yes.
Sweet. All right. Andrea, are you guys hosting?
No, we're not hosting. I'm going to Super Saturday in Indy. They put on a pretty good. Carl is coming.
Carl's going to be there. That's right. That's exciting. So yeah, you guys, the importance of live events is huge. And if you're new to this team, Amber, you're coming to our local one, yes? Yay, I'm excited to meet you in person. And Pat can't be there. I see you're on here, and I'm sorry, I'm going to miss you, but hopefully you have a good day at work. But live events are so, so, so important, you guys. I don't know if you're like me, but Summit's been there and gone, and we start to fizzle a little bit, right? And you need to refill your cup. Whether or not it's Super Saturday or whether you just host a little gathering for your team locally because you need to refill your cup, then do it, okay? Just do it. Get around some more people to refill that cup and get that going again so you can continue this the last quarter of the year. Kind of hard to believe 2017 is going to be over before we know it. So, all right. Anybody else have any last minute things you guys want to give some props, brag on yourself or brag on somebody else? The table is yours. Anybody?
I'll brag on Kathy since she's not going to brag on herself. She started Pound this week and freaking rocked it.
Awesome.
It was a fantastic workout and she did amazing.
That's awesome.
So Kathy, brag on yourself.
She's got 3 certifications now, I think.
Yeah, thank you, Amber. We sold it out with 40 because we only have 40 pound sticks. We sold it out with 40 last week, and we've already got it sold out this week. So it's fun. It's fun. Thank you, Amber.
I have to tell you something.
Okay, tell me.
When I look at you, I see the story in your eyes. When we're dancing, the night begins to shine.
Oh, Little D, you're so cute. That was a great way to end it, you guys. All right, so before we get cut off, Dante. Oh, he's so cute. But you guys know whoever starts the goals first, follow suit afterwards. All right, fist in. Love you guys. Have a great night. Blow it up. Let's finish the month strong.
Good night.
Good night. See ya.
What was that? What is happening?
That was awesome.
Bye, guys.